Hi Capricorn, this is Tisch Aitken, and this is your monthly report for the month of November. A lot happening, so let me try to break it down in the easiest way I can. So in October, 4 planets station direct, and that is really helpful for your moving ahead. Pluto, the planet of death and regeneration, which is still transiting in your sign. Saturn, which is the ruler of your sign, the planet of karma and responsibility. Jupiter, the planet of higher wisdom and good fortune. And Mercury, the planet of communication and information, all stationed direct. That helps us all. Now we're in eclipse season, and that means a lot happening in a very short period of time. There's a heightened sense of energy, sometimes anxiety. Eclipses are like wild cards. You know, a lot's going to happen, but you don't know exactly how it's going to play out. It can involve big life-changing events, big new jobs or moves, new relationships, breakups, unexpected news, things that we had no knowledge of up until this point. Eclipses make us see things in a way we never saw before and bring things to light. It's a heavy time, a lot going on. And the thing for you to pay attention to is that Venus is going to enter your sign on November 5th. It's going to be there until the beginning of March of 2022. So you've got it for several months, to approximately March 6th of 2022. It retrogrades on December 19th at 26 degrees and 29 minutes of Capricorn. That answers back to April of this year, when Pluto, the cosmic compost, retrograded at 26 degrees of Capricorn. It also answers back to last year, when Saturn got to 26 degrees of your sign on March 4th, and then it cleared that degree approximately November 3rd, November 4th of 2020. Venus will station direct on January 29th at 11 degrees and 4 minutes of your sign. That defaults back to late December of 2018, early January of 2019. Venus is in your sign for several months. It only retrogrades once every year and a half. It is a personal planet like Mercury, where it is involved in partnering with others and communication. Obviously, to have a partnership, one has to have communication, ideally, you know. So this is opportune for you to reassess how well you worked while Saturn was in your sign. It was in your sign from December 20th of 2017 until December 17th of 2020. Venus isn't tracing that entire journey, but a good portion of it. So how you can be more creative, how you can find more happiness in a whole new era. We've all experienced a lot of sadness. Now we're rebuilding and hopefully working with new dreams and to heal together. So this is a big time in your life, and having Venus in your sign for several months, whether you're healing an existing relationship, whether you're seeking new professional partnerships, whether you're considering dating again and finding love again. Venus is in your sign for a long time, magnetizing opportunities, and also asking you to reassess what you want and what you've done to thus far to get it. So Mars exited Libra on October 30th. You've been transiting in your house of career and life goals. It's now transiting in Scorpio, in your house of friends and groups and networking, where it will be until December 13th. Great for you if you're trying to network to build professional opportunities, market your business, or meet new people and socialize. And on October 2nd, Mercury squares Pluto at 5:39 a.m. daylight time. That could bring strife for you professionally. There could be power struggles. Great for doing research and getting to the bottom of things. On November 4th, there is a new moon that takes place at 5:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time at 12 degrees and 40 minutes of the fixed water sign of Scorpio. It's a very intense new moon with a lot of fixed, tenacious energy. But if you want to get it done, it's very powerful. And a new moon is always a time of planting new seeds. It's in your house of community and friends and networking, and the house of wishes. It's going to be a wacky new moon because later that day, the sun opposes Uranus at 7:58 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That could bring unexpected breakups conceivably, or meetings perhaps, but it also just adds excitement to this powerful new moon. On November 5th, big day for you, Venus enters your sign at 6:44 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, where it will remain until March 6th of 2022. You're the belle of the ball. Now it's time to do something about it. And then later that day, Mercury enters the fixed water sign of Scorpio at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, transiting your house of networking and friends and groups, and it will be there until November 24th, more socializing and connecting. And then on November 6th, Mercury forms a helpful sextile to Venus at 11:59 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, good for romantic and creative opportunities, just good for feeling positive. On November 10th, Venus forms a helpful aspect to Mars, and that is a really good energy at 7:57 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, good for romantic and creative opportunities. However, Mercury does square Saturn at 12:04 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That could bring issues for you financially, conceivably, or just, delays or challenges in communication. And then Mars squares Saturn at 6:14 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That could bring arguments or impatience, and it's just very frustrating energy, so not the easiest. Better for working on things on your own if you're able. On November 12th, the sun forms a beautiful trine in Neptune at 11:24 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's really good for tapping into the dream and through your thinking and your writing and just your thoughts. And then on November 13th, Mercury opposes Uranus at 10:57 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That could bring unexpected news from friends or from connections. Maybe you hear about something that you had no idea about. It can also be very innovative and great for brainstorming. And so it's a big day, a lot going on. You can feel a little anxiety, but it can be very inventive energy. On November 15th, Venus squares Chiron, the wounded healer, at 3:07 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And for you, that could emphasizes wounds around family or things you've been going through. We've all been going through so much, and you were really under the radar the past few years, but I think it's a healing opportunity. And then the sun squares Jupiter at 2:58 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and that brings more levity, and it's just, it can be a bit excessive, but it's not negative. On November 16th, the sun forms a very helpful sextile to Pluto, and this is a really nice energy, and that occurs at 4:01 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Good for feeling confident, good for dealing with friends and groups. On November 17th, there's more challenging energy. Mars opposes Uranus at 12:23 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Now that definitely could bring arguments with friends or romantic partners. People could be accident prone to that energy. They can be very reactive and get charged up very easily. You can only control yourself, but know that that's energy to be very wary of, whether you're on the road or just in dealing with people. And we're getting now pretty close to the lunar eclipse on November 19th, where emotions are going to be very heightened. November 18th does have good aspects, though, leading into it. Mercury forms a beautiful trine to Neptune at 10:38 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's good for working with the dream and doing manifesting work. And at 10:08 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and then November 19th at 1:08 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Venus forms a beautiful trine to Uranus. Now, Venus is in your sign. That could bring unexpected financial, romantic, and creative opportunities. Very inventive and innovative thinking. And so really working with that. And Uranus is transiting in your house of romance and creativity. So this is a really nice thing. So seeing, what you can do with that. But the lunar eclipse occurs on November 19th at 3:57 p.m. a.m. Eastern Daylight Time at 27 degrees and 14 minutes of the fixed Earth sign of Taurus. And this lunar eclipse falls in your house of creativity, romance, children, and the house of inner children. Now, maybe you've been working on a creative project for a while and it brings completion. There could be issues with relationships. There could definitely be some breakups or taking another level, maybe further commitment, with the relationship. But a lot of focus on your relationships with that eclipse and with all the energy in your 11th house of friends and groups. So it is like a full moon on steroids, and it's setting off a fixed star known as Algol, which is just within a degree of this lunar eclipse, and none easy fixed star. So keeping your head, keeping centered, and not, people might feel a bit despondent with that energy, but tapping into Mercury trining Neptune, Venus trining Uranus, the creative and loving energy that's also accessible. On November 20th, Mercury squares Jupiter at 6:43 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and that could just expand all of the thoughts and emotions and information uncovered with that eclipse. And then on November 21st, Mercury forms a helpful sextile to Pluto, and that is really nice energy for up-leveling your thoughts. And then let's see, the Sun enters Sagittarius at 9:34 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, where it will be until December 21st in your house of dreams and imagination, working with the dream. And then on November 25th, in the United States, it's the day of Thanksgiving. The moon is in Leo, which is usually a fun placement of the moon. However, it's going to oppose Saturn. It's going to square Uranus, which could be unexpected and disruptive, and it's going to square Mars, which can be combative. So it's going to be a bit difficult energy. But on the following day, on November 26th, Saturn forms a helpful sextile to Chiron, the wounded healer. And Chiron is transiting in your house of home, family, and emotional foundations. So helping to structure healing with your loved ones. And then on November 28th, the Sun meets up with Mercury at 11:39 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Good for networking for you and connecting with others. On November 28th. On November 29th, let's see, Mars forms a beautiful trine to Neptune at 9:10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That can be really good for creative and romantic projects with friends and romantic partners. Mercury trines Chiron that day, and that's good energy. And then it also forms a helpful sextile to Saturn at 11:19 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and on November 30th at 2:19 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And that structures communication and helps to bring, helps to structure and balance us all, because we're also building up to the second eclipse. Eclipses always come in pairs. There's going to be a total solar eclipse on December 4th in your house of the imagination, endings, and the subconscious mind. So probably a lot of intuitive energy, but add to that fact that Neptune stations direct on December 1st at 8:22 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time at 20 degrees and 24 minutes of the mutable water sign of Pisces. And that you will feel, that haze, before and after. But I think that 5 days before and 5 days after, but we have another planet stationing direct, and that's helpful. We're in eclipse season with a lot of hidden information uncovered, and also Venus forms a beautiful sextile to Neptune on November 30th at 3:46 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Very romantic, loving, and creative energy. I wish you a lot of luck, and thank you very much, Capricorn.